how's that? Look at this section on the inside here. Look at it sucking out right there. How's that? That's filthy. Look at the lining across that. We're on that, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm out there. G'day and welcome to the Paddle Out. I'm joined again by my co-host Shane Horan. And our very special guest this episode is none other than Joel Parkinson. We also acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and pay our respect to elders past, present and emerging. I'm Ray from Surfing Life magazine. Parko, thanks for joining us.
No worries, Ray. Thank you.
Great to have you
Welcome,
in.
Parko. How are you, bro?
Very well, thank you.
So when's the last time you paddled out?
Since you're on the Paddle Out?
Ah, man. We're looking, what time are we at? I paddled out about an hour and a half ago. Got a quick outing.
Where
Before
at?
I got here. Just at Curragh Big Groin real quickly. I've just moved up there, so I just
Have ya?
raced down. So
Nice.
ran down the hill, jumped in, had a quick one. It was really small and crap, but
Still had it. It was tiny today.
What'd you surf?
just a little, there's a little 20, just this
Little
little,
Yeah,
it's,
nice.
so-
I was actually just up the road.
there you go.
I was at Belinga.
Yeah, it was pretty dreadful, but I just needed to jump in the water.
Yeah, I took
That's
my
great,
daughter,
eh?
so that was what made it
Yeah,
worthwhile.
see, my-
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
that-
12, so
that's
she's on a little
perfect,
softy
yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
really lovely out there. Just not
So
many
you've been
waves.
off the tour for how long now?
I've been off. Oh, it was December 2018. I retired at Pipe there, so maybe almost, kind of 2 and a bit years now.
Has it been good?
It's been awesome. It feels like a lifetime ago. It feels like a different life. It feels like almost my life started again.
Do you kind of feel like that wasn't really you back then and this is now you?
Yeah,
Because
a
it's
little
so,
bit. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, was I actually doing that?
Yeah, I definitely. It feels like I went like just a line in the sand. There it is. Jump on this side. Start life now. That life was that awesome. Like I love every minute, but it's definitely such a contrast from being, like I said, professional athlete to not waking up the next day and it's all over and you jump into a different way of life.
What have you jumped into? Are you ambassador for Billabong or what is
still tied up? I guess in Billabong. I guess entrenched in Billabong. I've been there for a long time and I love it. And they're still kind enough to let me be an ambassador. And
it's like you and Ock, the two fabrics of Billabong, isn't it?
Get to go around and still, I guess, promote Billabong as much as I can and get hopefully some surf trips too here and there.
Here and there. It's a bit hard at the moment. You got itchy feet?
Yes, I have. I'm so getting ready to travel. I'm really thinking about, I was talking to my wife before about New Zealand, maybe June, July.
We're
I'm
talking
thinking
that
New
too.
Zealand.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm like,
It's in our backyard.
It's a 3 weeks in that school holidays too, and I was like, we could do a week of snowboarding and then we could do
There you go.
Bay of Plenty or even Dunedin, South Island. I've never done the South Island.
Yeah.
So
New
I'd love-
Zealand's going to go off. Everyone wants
well,
to
it's the only
go
spot we can go. I'm not going to go to Bali. It's probably
because of the COVID.
no, I'm just not. I'm refusing to do that 2 weeks in quarantine. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I don't think mentally you could do it. Like for me,
So March
It'd be
last
bad.
year, we were in Bali, right when COVID hit.
Did you do the
So
2 weeks?
we came back, but we were right on the start
You
of the
did
2
2
weeks.
weeks?
He did. I didn't.
Right on the start of the 2 weeks. Yeah, but we did it
At home.
at home, not in a hotel.
Okay, yeah.
Way better.
No, I could do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it in a shoebox, like a little.
No.
Imagine being in a shoebox with no air and stuff. I think.
And they couldn't open the
Someone who's
windows or
been-
anything.
Yeah, my mate just did it, and he's come and stayed with me, and it's pretty tough.
Mm.
People start losing their mind.
And then I heard, even with the injection, you still got to do the quarantine.
I guess there's so many,
Well, it's
so many
what
different.
is
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
They don't know what's happening, as if we're going to know.
Yeah, anyway, but I'm getting itchy feet. I want to go surfing somewhere.
And outside of that, like, what are you doing? Like, the tour, you're going in the water every day, you're training hard, you're packing bags, you're getting boards ready. Now, what do you wake up and do now? Look after the kids?
Yeah, no, I've got a couple other things on the go that I work on pretty hard, and I try to make sure they're running smoothly so I can have as much time in the water as I can and hanging with the family. And
So, can you tell us about some of these little projects you got going on?
I've got a coffee company that acquired a license from Europe through Reed Pinder and Carl Weiser, and we basically have kicked it off in Australia. Been going almost 2 years now.
Okay.
We're starting to get a little bit of traction around, and it's starting to go okay.
Where do I find the beans? I love a good
everywhere.
coffee. Everywhere.
Mate,
Okay.
I'm happy to we'll get online, or we've got our offices are at Kira, and we're about to put a little coffee nook in at Kira.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll come up and visit, get me some beans.
Come up, go for it. We've got teas, we've got it all. So
No, I don't need tea, mate.
No.
I drink coffee.
yeah, I'm a coffee guy too.
Life's
so.
too short to drink bad coffee and bad beer, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly. And then I've also got a little bar restaurant in the airport at Cooley, which was great until COVID.
Yeah.
But that'll come back.
Yeah, and then obviously Bolter with the beer.
And you're still involved in Bolter?
Yeah, we're still there. Yep.
Because I know that there was a bigger company came in, and did they buy in? Is that the thing, or did they buy out? Or
Yeah, virtually but we're still there. You know,
Yeah.
we're there for quite some time, making sure that the
They don't
wheels are
screw
still
it.
turning, and it doesn't really feel too much has changed other
Yeah,
than
good.
maybe the ownership, but otherwise it's our team, it's our crew, and we're still going hard there.
every time I drive down Traders, it's Traders Way, isn't
Yeah.
it? I'm like, shit, have they bought another?
Yeah,
another piece of land.
Yeah, another.
It keeps growing.
Another
I'm
brewery.
looking at that one on the corner there. I'm going, I bet you've got your eye on that one.
Yeah, I
that
don't
would
know.
complete the set, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, maybe one day, but at this stage, we'll leave that one there. Those
Leave
tenants
them
have been
alone.
there. Yeah,
They've
leave
been
them
a
alone.
while.
We actually, that's it. We're big enough. It's
Yeah.
the footprint's big enough now. We'll just make
It's a
it
great beer. Like, how did you get a taste like that? Like, who came up with the taste?
Yeah, who is you?
Well, our head brewer is Scott Hargrave, and
Yeah.
Scotty's
Scotty's a surfer.
no, he's not.
Different one.
Different one. Yeah.
Sean Hargraves, I'm thinking of. No?
No, there is a Scotty Hargraves. He works at WSL.
Okay, there you go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just not a surfer.
No, not at all. He's
Okay.
Thank God.
Mate,
That's why the beer
brewer,
tastes so
he's a-
good, eh?
Yeah, that was service, mate. It was like a service home brew. It should be done a month, but we were right. It's 10 days old, you know. But yeah, he's awesome, mate. They're his recipes, and mate, I guess when you're that good at what they do, I mean, brewing's like an art form to them. You know, it's all in their head, and
Yeah.
They lay it down probably from their head, not so much like, you know, a script or a ingredient or a recipe, I guess.
Yeah.
You're lucky.
They just know know it.
That's a lucky part of the team because that.
Oh,
you
it's
know,
everything.
you guys could have started a beer and not a good tasting beer. But you've started a beer
Absolutely.
that's awesome tasting.
And because you've
like
won
everyone
like
loves it.
Yeah,
Gabs
definitely.
Awards and
Yeah, we
everything.
won a couple of Gabs Awards. We're pretty lucky with it, and you know, Scotty's still there today, churning out some amazing beers, and even he's got some good guys under him now that are, you know, like really getting the reins and
Yeah.
you know, helping him out, because at the start it was just him alone, really.
Yeah.
He was doing virtually, you know, most of the brews, and he was 20-hour days. some
Like this
days.
mad scientist in there going,
Yeah,
oh, that's
yeah,
good,
yeah,
that's
for
great.
sure. And I
Yeah.
suppose, I guess when it's probably your when it's your baby,
Yep.
you know, you got to keep it on. And now I think he's got so much trust in his team that, you know, he can take a couple of days off, if you know,
Without much
and
fear.
still know with
Yeah.
you know, he's not frightened that something's gonna go wrong.
Well, I have to say, like, I think the hardest beer to make a good beer of is your mid-strength beer.
Yeah, Captain Tex was.
Oh my goodness! Whenever I'm going, I'm like, well, seeing if it's on tap. Is it on
So,
tap?
Yeah.
I
Have
can
you
drink
got
that
it
till
on
the
tap
cows
in your
come home.
house?
No, I got no taps in my house. I'd be 600
You just
kilos.
got slabs.
Yeah, I've been drinking much at all. So, but if I am, I'm a bit far out. I started a brew. I would always, you know, write people off for drinking a mid-strength beer, and I was, you know, early.
Yeah, because
30s, so
that's not
that's
not
not
tough
the
enough.
you're soft.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Now it's like, oh mate,
Just
that's
a
a heavy.
mid-strength.
Oh, I'll stick back. I'll way back, and now I'm like a mid-strength guy, and I'm a bit more cruisier with it.
Yeah,
So how's surfing for you? Like, what do you get out? What do you get out of surfing? Like, why do you love surfing?
One thing
Yeah,
I've
what keeps
noticed-
you
What's
paddling
your
out?
buzz? What's the
One thing I've
buzz?
noticed since I've retired, and it's been 2 and a bit years, I haven't had one bad surf.
Wow.
I just
Because you're
don't-
not thinking, I'm surfing.
You know,
not-
there's no more dot to dot and connection and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like, you know, when you're competing, it's all about improving. And I know it's probably really bad to say, but I don't really care for improving. I just care for the enjoyment, you know.
That's great.
So I just really
and,
surf.
and
for,
how is that a bad thing to say?
I don't know.
You're not going for a world title
no,
anymore,
I just
man.
want to surf for like.
Surf for the
even
same
today,
reason.
Before was crap. Like I had the worst. It was probably the worst surf. But I still came in and was like, yes, I got an hour in. I'm stoked. I got a snuck one in, and it's just the way it is, I guess. So I don't know. I got one wave that kind of got a couple of wiggles on. I went, oh, that was sick. That made my session, and I don't know. I haven't had a bad surf for ages. Even if I have had a bad one, I still come in and smile. So
and you can ride anything now.
I can ride anything.
And it doesn't matter how it goes.
No, I haven't ridden a normal, 6.0 monster that I used to take around the world, and that was my go-to when I knew it. And I haven't rode a normal short board for so long. I had one a while ago, and I jumped on last summer. I had a couple of surfs on, and I liked it, but it felt like I started getting a bit too
contest orientated.
Yes, I started going back to
bottom of the top.
Finish your last turn, all like that. And I went, what the fuck do I care about? What do I care about finishing my last turn for?
Paddling out, that was an 8. That was 7. That was 5.5.
Yeah, probably should have got my hand in this part and did this, and I probably could have hung in longer on that and done. Yeah. And I was like, heck. And I went straight away. I'm not riding those things anymore. I'd rather slide.
Isn't that great though? Like surfing's like that at the moment. Like it's
in a great space.
Just so many different boards. Like you're riding a 20 today. Like imagine waking up on a contest day and you go, oh well, I'm going to ride my 20 before my heat and then go out with my contest board.
Oh yeah.
You just can't do those things.
No,
your head's so
like mate, even
stressed.
Exactly.
Like how much stress have you got rid of since you've been off?
So much. So I used to stress out on whether I'd be riding, like, hold on.
What fin?
6-foot bells, and you'd be like, should I just keep on my comp? Should I put my comp leash on, or should I go the thicker one? Like, I'm going to drag. You start thinking of all that, and you're like, it's a freaking leg wrap. Like, today I don't think I've worn a leg wrap for about 4 days since the 12's gone. Like,
everything matters and doesn't matter, really.
Every small percent is a huge win or gain at the top. So.
But that's the thing, you were at the top, man, and that's what you have to do to get where you got to. And, I still remember the day, you remember it better than I do, but I still remember the day you got your title. Best thing. But that's what you had to do. You had to leg rope thickness, 1/4 of an inch here, sanding that rail down, got the right fins in. Are they screwed in? Is my wax just perfect?
Yeah, it's wild,
and that's what it takes.
For sure.
And if that's what it takes, then that's what you do. Isn't it?
You have to, or I guess so.
And then in your second
life,
life,
in tune with it, I suppose. With that at that point, when you're surfing, I guess you're in your prime of your physical condition, and and probably your peak of your surfing condition. For a little gain, it's you just feel so much better. Again, you feel like you're surfing. They're the levels. When you're learning to surf, your levels are so big, but when you're small, those small levels are huge at the top.
So that was a good day winning the title, eh?
Yeah. It's weird. A lot of people always say, I remember where I was when you won your world title.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. It's like I always go like...
I stayed home and watched it.
Yeah, weird that they say, like people, I'm like, mate, like everyone always says, like I guess even with Mick, like I remember where I was when I saw the shark incident, I saw it live. Like,
I watched that
I remember
too.
the day, I was pretty, we were family friends with the Irwin family and Steve, and I remember the day that I was just checking Debo one day, and I walked out of the car and my phone rang. I ran back to answer it, and I was the news about Steve passing. Like those moments in life, I guess that was a really sad one. But I feel that one about world title. People go, I remember where I was. I was sitting at blah blah blah, and I was having a beer at so and so's house, and you won your world title.
But no offense on this statement here, I think there's a reason for that, and I think that reason is that we're looking at your career and then going, oh dear,
this could be bad.
Well, things had to fall into place.
Do you know what I mean? And because
they still had to fall into place.
Without tickling your ear too much, your style is amazing. I wrote a story in Surfing Life when you retired. No, the title was "When Style Retired." Because that's what it was, and I think everybody was almost willing you to the title, a bit like Ocky's title. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I remember where I was there.
There you go. See, there you go.
You probably don't remember like where you were when Kelly got his 8th or 7th or 8th.
No.
So you kind of.
I don't remember where he got his first.
Where was that?
Or his 3rd or his 8th.
Yeah, I guess he's got
that's right. But you remember yours.
Yeah, wow. There you go.
I do remember one of the interviews you had once, and they said, "Oh, so are you not getting scored because you seem so chill and relaxed, and you're not very competitive?" And you're like, "God, I'm from the Gold Coast. You've got to be the most competitive animal in the world just to get waves there. And I love how you said that, because you do have a chill demeanour, but obviously there's got to be some fire inside.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, mate, smiling assassin sometimes.
Still.
When I used to compete, mate, if I walked down that beach sometimes and, that real sense of belonging, smile on my face, I was like, oh, I'm going to
Destroy you.
I want to destroy
Don't give
something.
me an inch.
Don't get on my time. And then,
On the weekend when I saw you at the single fin, the fire was burning, man. I saw you in a couple of heats. You were going well, mate. Your professional prowess, when you pulled yourself out of those heats, when you were losing the heat and you needed to get in, and I think it was like 30 seconds to go, you needed a 5 and you nailed it. And in your last heat, you nearly nailed it again.
I could let one wave go. I flew it.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bit of my bit of rusty. It was definitely some rust.
That one wave, like he still remembers it. That day I was looking at you and I'm going, look at that fire. The fire's still burning big time.
So
it's good, eh? And
I enjoyed that weekend.
That was great.
Latest issue,
It's
on the shelves today.
Oh, yep. There you go. Sick. Single fin.
Have a look in. Show that. There you go.
Such a great event this one.
There you go. Look at that. That's the day I
still
saw Parko.
Still making print, mate.
Still made a print.
Ripping. What a great day.
On that one, eh?
What's that?
Photo incentive on that one.
Yeah, that's right.
Ian Byrne, a 1980 single fin it was.
Yeah,
1980. Classic.
Such a great
event, eh?
Yeah, awesome. You guys have killed it in yours too.
We had fun.
Yeah.
It was funny in the water. I got to talk to, I haven't seen Hoyo, and I was talking to Hoyo. I said, mate, I saw photos of you on Instagram. You were in hospital. Heart, you okay? He goes, mate, I've had all my bowel taken out. I got more. And it was the only time I got to talk to him. Was in the water.
Exactly. Yeah. Gee, so well too.
Didn't he? What?
All
you guys, everybody for their ages and everything, they're all still blazing.
Biggest surprise though in that event? Paul Fisher.
Oh, Fish rips, mate. He always rips.
Didn't he? What?
He always rips, but he was a bit of a surprise
for
us.
Elko's back was bad too. I want to see Elko. I love Elko.
He should have had a paddle.
I wish he had it. He's bad. The back looks pretty bad though. So maybe next year we'll get him.
But he had a surf last week.
Yeah. I saw.
He should have had a push. He should have pushed himself.
Yeah.
Like PT said to me one time, like Elko has put on a bit of weight, and I remember PT after Michael Peterson died, and he said, he was just too proud to go surfing, not being as good as what he used to be. And you kind of got to deal with that as you get older. You got to just, like as surfers, we're not as good as we used to be, but just going out, and we don't do it for that.
No, exactly.
We go out for having fun. But I remember PT
I'm better
telling
than
me,
I've ever been.
But you're still a young whippersnapper.
Hey, what do you mean? I think
So what is it like a bit of pride? You think?
Yeah, he said that. Like PT goes through, he reckons that he just was too much pride and
like almost embarrassed a bit.
Yeah, and because you saw how big MP was when he died.
Yeah,
MP.
That was a different story.
I had MP we were trying to get him out for that paddle out when we were saving Kira, right, having the king in the water, and anyway, I had the ski there, and he's going, I'm not going out, and I'm going, come on, I'll put you on the ski and come out and be with everyone. He's going, I'm not going out. He's going, Andrew, I don't want to go out, and I'm going, yeah, okay. So I come up to him at the dinner, and he's at a dinner, and he's sitting with a few of my mates. They didn't even know it was MP, right? And I said, hey, Michael, you were closer to Mars than going out there today, weren't you?
It would have been great to see him out there too. I've never got to see him in the water at all in my life.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah,
I got a lot of time with Michael over the years because I was a young grommet.
Yeah,
and they're all your roots.
Yeah.
The reason you guys winning world titles and being the best surfers in the world is because Michael Peterson is your roots.
Yeah, for sure. He pushed a generation before that we looked up to, and they looked up to. So.
What about you with your family? You got a huge surfing family, like the Parkinson family. How many brothers, sisters have you got?
I've got a sister. Yeah.
She surf?
Kinda. She owns a surf school. Her and Mark Richard.
Righto. Okay.
Richardson, sorry, Mark Richo. He and my sister. They are married, been married for 20 years. And
That's Surfing Services Australia?
Yep, Surfing Services Australia. So they've got, the surf school. They have son Ty, who's absolutely killing it.
Ripping.
Another like Parko
He's
offspring.
Parko offspring, I suppose you'd say.
But your uncle surfs?
My uncle goes amazing, mate. Well, my uncle's still a freak. Still rips today, surfs all day, still rides my boards, at 60, and he's still riding a, pro board that's 29 litres and paddles like a demon, surfs like a demon. And then, my two other cousins, Mitch and Tom, Mitch is unbelievable. Tom's such a cruisy surfer. He's awesome. He surfs a lot.
And present company excluded, is Mitch the best behind the rock?
Oh, mate, he's probably pretty good.
He's up there, isn't he?
He's up there.
Top 5?
Oh, for sure at the moment. Yeah, definitely. Probably top 2, I guess, him and maybe Vassar.
Sheldon,
definitely. Yeah, there's those 3 guys, I'd say, are
they're the
probably
three,
up
aren't
there.
they?
I'd say they're probably
So it was you, Parko and Dingo, and now that's the new breed taking over behind the rock.
Yeah, you go. Oh, maybe we'll still get back out there when it gets good and probably
push them back.
Over, boys. I'll take the easy ones. You can take the ones that are friggin'
Show some respect.
Yeah, that one's not mine though.
That backwash, double up, gurgler. They can have those.
Things got a 3-foot lip. I'll be like, oh no, I'll wait for the next one.
Another moment, right, is I'm on the beach with Rabbit. We're at the Quicksilver Pro and they're having it down at Kira.
Yep.
And you got that wave out at Cooley that's on the front of Billabong.
Oh, yeah,
I was there in the life.
Really?
Seen it in real life.
Where were you
and
watching
I went,
it
you
from?
caught that wave and I went, why didn't they have the contest out here?
Oh, no.
How good was
the best
that?
I've ever
You
seen.
guys, were you towing in? Or you
Just stepping off or paddling,
stepping
doing
off?
both.
That
yeah.
was insane. That
It was
wave.
insane. It was so good. But it was only good for the hour and a half, maybe 2 hours on the top of the tide, because as soon as the tide started draining out, it just started washing through, constantly, got too big. So they had it all day to run, so they probably wouldn't have got there. But Kira was pumping though too. Anyway,
Kira was still good, like really good.
How's the front of the Kira shop now?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, pretty good.
You still like that?
Everyone drives past. Everybody on the Gold Coast drives past that photo, and every time I drove past it, I go, I was there. I saw that one. It just goes bang, just a little voice in my head.
And they've been trying it. Like it's been up now for 2 years, so
they can't get a better shot.
That's right. They did the other day. They're like, we're going to have to change it. And they went around and they looked around.
Why would you?
They won a local and they won a local surf shop, and they were saying, oh, they want to get a good photo of Steph, and I was like, yeah, for sure. If it's got to be changed, I want Steph. On a good wave, and then I guess they had come up with one photo and they all put it there and went, how
do you change it?
He just hasn't connected with a really good photo yet, so
it's going to happen one day.
Oh, it'll go one day, for sure. But I guess for now,
it's a great moment though, eh?
Yeah, awesome moment. It was a good wave.
Was that the best wave you ever had out there?
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah.
It's magic. It was so big and blown open.
I was sitting on the jet ski and Mick was driving and he goes, this is the one, this is the wave of the day. And I went, mate, this is a closeout. I'm not going that. And he's like, just went, go. And I just went, okay. Jumped off and went, whoa, hold on. And then that was in.
A magic wave.
I haven't watched a lot of your clips and I haven't seen you that excited coming out of many waves.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when I bottom turned into it, I just was like, holy, like it was just the biggest. And the colour was just incredible. It was that, that crystal turquoise Gold Coast morning, the sun almost, where the sun comes through that way of the lip, it almost sparkles the barrel and you just were like, it was like, just the biggest cylinder to stand in. And it went for quite some time. I just was like, this is just the best view I've ever seen.
This ain't closing out.
No, then I was like, hold on, this is the one.
Wave of a lifetime.
But
is it the best wave you've ever surfed?
It's one of
tough
them.
one.
I know that's one of them. You can't put it down to that.
I mean, I know you've
He's had waves of pipeline, mate. Some of the waves
and
you get a pipeline are hard to beat.
Can you actually? Is
Good
it
wave,
possible for you to go? My best wave was.
Oh, mate, it probably is actually. There's one wave I caught. I went to Kauai. I don't want to say where. But
don't name names.
It's a long sand point on Kauai.
Yeah.
You probably got a rough idea of where it is. And it was
with Andy.
Andy. No, Andy. That day, Andy was. He organised me to go over, but he was
Cool.
somewhere on. He was on Oahu and he couldn't go, and I got to go over. And I got this one. It was probably 8 foot at that place, and just, mate, I think it would have been. I felt like I was in a tube for an 8 foot, fast as I could ever go, and I pumped and pumped and pumped. And then I got to stand there for maybe 3 or 4 seconds. It was probably a 15, 16 second tube. And then I got, and then it started catching me again. I pumped and stood and pumped and stood. And I did that like 3 times. In the last section, I just pumped as fast as I could. And finally, I got right to the end and the foam ball was just coming and it just ankle tapped me.
Oh,
And I body surfed out of this thing. It spat so hard. And I went up and over and I broke my board on it. And I only took 3 boards for the day, and it was my last. It was right on dark, and I broke my last board for the day, or the last board I'd bring. And I just read that was probably the best barrel of my life. I didn't make it, but I got to the end. I kind of still go.
I'm going to call that, mate. You surfed out?
No, that's good.
Yeah, and that was.
I actually
Some
kind
of your
of
best
like.
waves you don't make. Or
Yeah.
See, some of the things you remember
Vision.
your biggest wipeouts, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Some of that
But
stuff.
It actually makes it even the better story. You
Yeah, it
didn't
is.
just pull out.
Because
Yeah.
You had to body surf
you're
out.
waiting and you're thinking he's going to come out, he's going to come out,
Yeah, I
doesn't come
just
out.
remember just thinking.
He's wave of his life.
He didn't come
So
out
I
of
wonder
it.
if I made. I was thinking.
Best
I wonder if I
story.
made that wave this morning. You know, I'd surfed for 6 hours that day. I was absolutely knackered, and that place is
Wow.
pretty taxing.
Yeah.
And I was just couldn't believe. I still can't believe it today. Like I still have the vision of the last section where it's 8 foot and just the squarest, cleanest pit. That's like it was like a square box, kind of I guess like that Skeleton Bay stuff
Yeah,
where it's
right.
8 foot. You just
Because they're square and
and the exit was just there.
So
Have
what
you
about,
surfed, Skeleton?
no, a bit of a bucket list though. I'd love to go.
It's on there.
what about big wave surfing? Like you said something about the Eddie Eye cow or something?
Yeah,
What-
we're talking about something, bringing something memorable, like something that means a lot. And I guess my big wave surfing is not a big part of my surfing, but I do enjoy, challenging myself. Not, nothing ridiculous what those guys are doing today, I suppose, but I think the preparation, you need a lifetime experience to be able to ride,
It's a
Joel.
way
What's
different
big for
preparation.
you?
No, I don't
Waimea? You surf Waimea?
Yeah, I'd love like that kind of stuff. I don't have a
Yeah.
good crack of that. But after, mate, paddling a 60-footer at Jaws, and I think that it takes a long time of preparation and experience
To
and,
get on that level.
and confidence to get to that level.
It does.
Body and mind preparation.
Body
huh?
and mind and all that kind of stuff. And like understanding how far you can get flogged, because you've got to be prepared to take a 60-footer on the head or go suck it over the falls on a 60-footer.
And you got to take those steps along the
You
way.
can't just go.
Like you can't just
That's
go and
big.
get flogged by a 60-foot wave. You'll die.
You'll die.
You'll die.
You need
But
to
you've got to keep going along. You've got to cop it along the way
yeah.
to survive it.
To survive it, yeah, I think that too, and that's a lifetime of surfing experience it takes, and or living and breathing it and living in Hawaii like they get to and do that. You can't just come from the Goldie on a 2-foot day and think you're going to go.
I've done that.
Oh, yeah.
And you eat your
Yeah,
brain.
he's done
Yeah.
Oh, you know, one of my biggest rushes in surfing, I'm down the beach surfing, teaching surfing at Surfers Paradise, and I see the swell coming. And that was when we first started reading the maps, and I had 4 days to get there. So I got there 2 days before the swell, so I got over the plane flight, and next thing it was 60 feet.
I saw you remember that one you towed into was so big.
Giant.
it
That
Jaws?
day, that way,
Yeah.
it was coming from 2 foot Surfers Paradise to that.
To that.
You reckon that wasn't a rush?
How would you have felt if you had fallen on that one?
I fell on the way before it.
Oh, did you?
I nearly died on the way before it. I had stars coming out of my eyes. I've gone up to the doctor, and they've gone, they had a doctor for you to go back out, and the doctor goes, "You all right?" And I've got stars going, and I look at him and I go, "Yeah, I'm all right." And he goes, "Well, out you go."
Like a boxer, eh? in
And
the
then the
ring.
next one, I waited
I'm good,
20 minutes.
I'm good, ref.
I waited
Send me
20
back out.
minutes to catch that wave.
Really?
Yeah, I waited for the stars to disappear, my breath to
Mate,
come
if
back.
you're a
and then-
footballer, they would have gone, "You're off for the
Off,
weekend." Yeah, you're
off.
out.
That's right, 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks out.
Concussion.
Man.
Yeah. So anyway, I really do love having a crack at some.
Well,
Well,
that's
we had-
your age now, like where you're at now, and you've got that experience in a way, that's there for you.
Yeah, I know. Well, I would have loved to have gone away this season, but
Pretty tough.
Because
tough.
now you don't have to concentrate on contests. You can start
no. Well, I've
start
just,
getting some big boards and
just-
start having those big
yeah,
moments.
I've
And
just accepted a spot for the Shipsterns Cape Fear event.
Have you?
Okay, there you go. There you
I'm
Right.
go.
going to be doing that. That's from March through to August. So
There's a waiting period.
That's a good natural evolution for you.
love
Is
it.
that what you feel like you want to evolve into as a big wave surfer?
No.
See, he's thinking
I
that's
would
where
love
you're...
to. Mate, it's just another chase. I don't want to chase surf.
Yeah.
You've
Oh,
chased.
mate, if I'm an opportunity where there's a huge swell going and I've got a potential to go and surf it, for sure. But
You're not going to look at it
Well,
and chase maps.
we had
and
Jolly
I'm not going to
be over at
spend my whole,
Nazare and-
no,
Yeah.
passing on that. No.
So we had Jolly on the show a couple episodes ago, and we talked about the cloud break event that I think Bede and
Mick was out.
yeah,
There was
but
Bill-
no, you guys were. But remember, they ran his heat, and it was like they called it off, and everyone, all of the keyboard warriors were like, "Oh, why were they calling it off? It's gone perfect," and that. And Jolly goes, "Nah, perfect decision." But we were talking about how you and Mick and all those guys still had a crack. What was that like?
It was awesome. I was truly undergunned. The worst I've ever.
Yeah, what were
probably
you on,
felt.
like a 6'3" or something?
I was on a 6'8".
6'8".
6'8". But it
That's
was
still
all I had.
You would have needed
6'8" was
9'3"
what-
or something, wouldn't you?
Mate, I think Mick borrowed Kalar's his shortest board. I think it was an 8'6", maybe.
Yeah, like
Wow.
that's what you need
Yeah,
to
and
get
a
the
big thick
speed.
one. I took off on one wave on my. It was probably a 15-footer on my 6'8", and I just bottom turned it, and I got there, but I couldn't. It won't go any faster.
Don't go fast enough.
I was just going, shit, this thing's catching me. And I kind of pocket rode and got a bit of a barrel and was like, mate, that wave was too big for the board. Like, way
and then
too big.
you just got spat across the reef.
Oh,
What
and
happened?
Then I lost the board. Then another one I took, and I think I did the same thing. I went to bottom turn, and it just wouldn't even.
No rail.
There was no rail, and I just went face plant and penetrated. Really got a good penetration on my face plant, and just didn't go over. And I was just like, swum back, broke my leggy on it though.
Yeah.
And then I swum back, and Makua Rothman was just on the ski there, and he was like, so I started panicking. Shit, I'm going to get cleaned up. I said, no, it's cool. There's no waves coming. Just come over here. And so he didn't move the ski, and I just swam over, sat up, sat down. 5 minutes later, that first
big
50-footer set came through, and I was just I got to
blackened the
watch it.
sky.
I got to watch it from the channel and from sitting up front next to it on a jet ski, just going. It was the greatest. Well,
Did you see that Mark Ely part where he paddled up the face?
yeah.
Wow.
I was right there.
You were there.
That was the set.
That was incredible. Incredible to see what the ocean could do. You know, like
And it was
coral heads coming out the back. Like the smell after the
because
the
you're just
wave.
ripping them up and throwing them
Well,
up.
just bring anything that was on the reef came
Came
got
loose.
nuclear,
yeah,
got atomic
devastated.
bomb on it, and it just made there was coral heads coming up like as that you wouldn't be able to carry. You know, just
Wow, just changed the reef.
just blew the reef apart. You know? Probably happens every 10 years or I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe longer.
Maybe longer. Those 50-footers go
Yeah,
through there.
yeah,
It's
those
so
swells are
big.
rare.
and
Yeah.
so perfect. That was the unusual thing about it.
Yeah, well, and then Makua went, oh, brah, I want to get my toe board. And I was like, I'll tell you in. He's like, probably won't be another one like that. And sure enough,
Yeah.
Another one.
45 minutes later, there was another set like that.
Yeah.
Anyone catch it?
No one. If I had
They
if
both
I
went
had
They're all
really-
being
If we
paddled.
had
with
gone and got his board, I
Yeah.
reckon we would have waited 30 minutes. And I could have.
Yeah.
It would have been the biggest, craziest wave ever towed into out there. I mean, he did
Maybe
tow a huge
anywhere.
one, the other one where he fell not
Yeah.
recently on that a couple of years ago. Makua did, but that wave would have just, had the surfing world on it, and he would have stood in a 40-foot chopu, maybe bigger. I don't know how big that wave actually. I don't even know how to measure those things.
No
Like,
one knows.
I think it's the biggest, powerful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Hey, have you done well at Chopu? Because that wave suits your style.
Yeah, I haven't done too. It took me years to get pretty confident.
Learn
out
the
there.
line.
Learn the line and drop and just how to backside tube ride and slow down and hide. and
You won it though.
no, I didn't. I was
You got a
winning
second.
it, and then
Mick got you in the
come in
last
minute.
seconds. Yeah.
Wow.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I knew you
We
were on
were
the podium.
probably-
But
pretty cool.
that's a wave for you. That
I've really
Chopu,
enjoyed
yeah,
that.
it suits your style.
Yeah, but I, when we've, especially like, I'm sure Mick and those guys, Mick and Dingo would probably say that. When we first, Dingo was probably better at backside tube riding, but when we first got on the tour, my first year, I was probably the worst backside tube rider. And then, within quite a few years, I just fell in love with it and just, like, I went to Fiji and spent a month and just loved sitting. I still would take a backside barrel over a frontside barrel today any day. I love.
What do you
I
reckon
hated
the
my
key
back
is
end.
to getting a backside barrel?
I just love the speed management. You know, stop, start. You can fasten up so fast. You can stop yourself. You know,
So quick,
nothing better nothing worse than getting a forehand tube and it's amazing wave and you're just sitting out in front. You can't slow down. On your back end, you know, you can put the brakes on instantly and stop and then start back to the same speed quite quick. And I don't know, when I earlier in the year maybe March last year, I got some pretty good waves up the coast and there was a really nice river mouth with a sick right, and I went, the left had no one on it, and it was just a left. It was wasn't quite as good as right, but still pretty good. And I just spent the day on the left, just going,
Really?
I'll take a left all day.
You got New Zealand in your sights.
I'd love to. Yeah. I'd love to get to Hawaii at the end of the year. If this is a possibility, this, you know, jab to fly stuff without quarantine for 2 weeks, I'd definitely consider going to Hawaii at the end of the year and, you know, going over maybe doing some kind of Christmas with the family and hanging out and surfing for a few weeks. Or
And nice, going surfing on what board you want to, when you want.
Yeah, I love Hawaii.
You know, having it so you don't have to surf and you just go surfing. Like contests, you have to go surfing. Yeah. And it becomes a drill, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you've got to surf. A lot of the time, man, like I remember when I was on tour, like I wanted to go and surf, you know, Jocos or Lanis, but the Pipe Masters was on. It had to practice. It was a perfect day for one of those, you know. So you'd be like, I remember like, Luke Egan to be in the house. He'd be like, we'd have our morning surf, our pipe, and he'd be like, what are you doing? I'm just going to cruise for a couple of hours before I have another surf. And he'd be like, oh, I'm going to surf Jocos, it's pumping or something. You'd be like, you know, just going to concentrate on this. And
so you won't have to do that now.
No, and last time I went to Hawaii, I was meant to be there for about 10 days, but it was after the year after I'd retired, and I was there for 3 days, and I had a call up to go to Morocco for another surf trip while that was there. So I got cut short, and I had all these fun boards like
ready
I
to
had
go.
A-Sims and all this stuff, and I wanted to ride Sunset. We didn't get a day. There was a swell coming, and we didn't get any days that I didn't really get to experience it.
So you're claiming Mr. Sunset yet?
Oh, mate, LK doesn't give it up, mate.
He won't give it up.
Never.
You know, when you order a board, like you've had thousands of new boards, haven't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right,
I think
over
we all
time.
have, right?
Well, I spoke to a mate of mine.
Try.
I spoke to a mate of mine this morning or something. He goes, I've had 5 new boards. Like you've had thousands of boards, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You still get the feeling. I picked up a new 20 this morning and was like, yes, I'm going surfing.
Yeah.
But when you get a board, how do you approach getting a new board? How does it start and how does it end getting a new board for you?
Well,
What's the process?
Nowadays, I just go, I'd say to JS or Paulie that works at JS, I made, a lot of the time, Jace is pretty cool. He'll go and shade something fun for himself, and then, we go surfing together, and I'll see it and go, that looks amazing. I want to try that.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's an experiment. You try, and especially because he knows that I don't want, your high performance shortboard stuff. I want something that's going to be just the funnest board I can find. So, I don't know. I just want to have a lot of different stuff, and
so he'll make a board and then he'll say, oh, you want to try this, and then I want that. Yeah,
I'll try that for sure, or that one, not so much, or this one, make me 10 of those. I love it,
And do you refine them?
Not
do you
matter,
go,
get 10,
I
but
like the way
that.
it holds a turn, or I want it to go longer in the turn or shorter, or paddle in a bit easier. Do you talk like
for sure,
that
paddling a bit more now. Now that I'm a bit older and lazier, if I'm going to get like a Surf and Cura day or something, and you just leave some, mate. I'd be riding, used to
a twig.
A twig to do it. Now I'm like, no.
What sort of leaders?
Chunky. All I want to do is stand there in the tube. That's all I want to do. I don't want to have to come out and do a big wrap and then finish off like.
You want to get in.
I just want to make sure I'm on the best wave I can find, not bloody paddling around and missing it.
Yeah.
So going a bit wider now.
Wider, thicker. Is this just a common
thread
with as you get older? You just go. Even I notice if all of my mates that are like getting towards 40 now are just wider, thicker.
What leaders
sometimes shorter too.
Yeah,
you
can go shorter. If you go a bit wider
in surfing, you for sure.
So what leaders are you on
right now? I've got
between,
I reckon about 30. 30's good for me.
Yeah, right.
30, 31.
That's still thin.
Still thin.
That's tiny.
Mate, I was on 28 on tour. Now I'm on 30, 31.
28, yeah.
I don't mind. I rode a board the other day. I reckon it's 33, and it was a bit thick, but it was like,
Still goes.
oh, that's easy. So he's a bit of an easy paddler and easy surfer.
Do you find with your boards that you've got a quiver of boards now? Do you find that you ride the wider, thicker ones of them?
Yeah,
or
for
the
sure.
twiggy
Well,
ones?
I've only got at home right now. I've probably only got about
5 that you ride, or
I've only got in my garage. I've probably got about 8 boards.
Is that all?
That's all I have. I've got.
Oh, no.
he's got 8 boards.
If you walk in here,
Well,
there's
like
like,
out
I've
of
probably
the
got
8
20 boards.
Out of the 8, you ride
I
your
got
thickest
two-
ones
I
mainly.
got 3 little 20s that I just love.
Mm.
That 5 days a week, and the waves are 3 foot to and under. I'm on that.
It was one of those little curve channel 20s. Did you jump on one of those?
Curve channel 20s?
Yeah, where they
And-
curve the channels.
Yeah, I haven't got a little curve channel
Ooh.
20. I haven't got
They're,
that one. Yeah.
they're heaps of fun.
Oh, that's a great. I'll see about that. I've got and then I've got like a couple of 5.9s, 5.10 kind of, 2 of those that are the JSR. They're the like monster box or black box kind of stuff.
Yeah, right.
That are kind of almost a bit traditional style shortboard, but they've still got a bit of foam in the front. They're a bit wider, a bit shorter, and you can kind of still go and surf a 2 foot shorey on them and have a good time,
Yeah.
Or you can surf them up to 4 or 5 foot, chunky still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've got a couple of just pure tube riding quad boards that are 6 to 32 litres, and just, mate, they're built for, a big day in the points where you're just going to be paddling and tube riding. Pigtails. That's all. Mate, well, that's all I need.
Mate, that
And
sounds like
glass,
fun.
they're glass really nice and thick now. They're glass.
So you're not getting
heavier.
Yeah.
So
I like heavy boards.
I don't even know the last time I broke a board since
Yeah.
I've been off tour. It's awesome. I haven't broke a board for a year. I don't think. I used to,
Yeah.
back you used to break them by just hitting the lip sometimes, in
Yeah.
front of the fins and all that stuff. And
Bit of weight's good.
the weight's good.
I think weight's amazing. Joel, amazing to have you on. I wish we could keep going. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we've got to drop it here because...
It was good you paddled out with us.
Yes.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on the show, and I can't wait to.
Now it's time to paddle in.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of things for you, though, for coming on the show.
Oh, wow.
So this is Pure Scott, one of our partners.
awesome. Thank you.
Scotch and tonic.
We know you like your Bolter, but there's another.
There's
pure,
the-
that's one of my favourite
No
scotches,
way.
Pure
Bottle of
Scotch.
Scotch for you.
How's this? So I love my whiskies.
Unreal.
I'm a member of a whiskey club. I get bottles of whiskey sent once a month because I love my whiskey.
Well, there you
I
go.
can't
Wait
wait
till
to
you try
try
that
that.
one.
That's cool. You got a board rack right there.
Oh, thank
If you got a
you.
favourite board, you want to put it up? Like they're hanging up
Yeah,
here.
okay, I see that. That's
It's
really
kind of
good.
cool. We've also got a watch for you from Wear It.
No way. A
Yeah.
watch?
A watch.
I love a
Why
watch.
not?
Awesome watches.
Thank you.
It's their new surf watches. The smartwatch hooks up to your phone.
Really?
And
Does
the
your
best
tides.
of all for
Oh,
coming
yeah.
in.
Oh, yeah,
There you
I'll have
go.
to. Thanks
That's-
for that.
Yeah.
You're in it.
Yeah.
You know,
Can't
starring Parker
Yeah, that's
in
it.
the single.
Oh, where's this? Surf trips again. Where,
So Parker,
must be hard to be in a magazine with no surf trips going on.
It's tricky.
It's tricky,
Yeah,
eh? I guess
but we're
you're-
doing like you're doing.
You got
and
photographers
finding the
everywhere.
spots.
Yeah.
That's right. We've got guys in WA and Vico and everything, and
Yeah.
we collaborate around the world.
Yeah.
But it's tougher. But you know what it's like.
Yeah, exactly.
The harder it is, you just have to work hard.
WA would have been good to get to, wouldn't it? It's through the
Yeah.
prime time.
Yeah.
so thanks for coming. That's
No worries.
cool,
Thank
mate.
you.
Great
Amazing.
stories.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Great
Thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Thanks for
Man.
watching, guys, and tune in again next time.
Aloha.